Well, yesterday I walked another long distance, 33 kilometers, and I'm starting out this morning at another 21. And you can just leave it to say that after that long day and arriving in the hotel, I didn't have much time to do a whole lot of things, especially eat. But before I arrived at the hotel, I did stop at a little store and got some grapes and some little lunch meat, some chicken. And I went to the pharmacy, of course, and got some items to replenish my little first aid kit. So right now I'm headed toward Hinojosa del Duque, and I don't know, maybe I'm taking my time. I set the alarm clock for an hour later, and I finally left the hotel. I stopped at some little towns along the way, which there were none yesterday in that whole 33-kilometer trek. So I stopped at a little store and I got what did I get? Oh, some yogurt, some little yogurt. They come in 2-packs, so I've been successful with those, carrying those and stopping somewhere, either in the mountains or somewhere where I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a stomach pain for some food. So that gives me a little bit of protein. I haven't had much meat on this trip. It's very hard to find food during the time that I'm traveling. And much of the time, like yesterday in Alcaracejos, after that 33-kilometer walk, I walked over to a little restaurant cafe, which is across the street from the hotel. And I was able to get a limonada and some potato chips, local potato chips. But I couldn't get any food until 9 o'clock that night. And most places are set up like that. They close down and then they open back up at about 8 or 9. And they stay open maybe till midnight or so, or a little bit after. But that's not a good time for me. Usually by that time I'm getting all my stuff ready for tomorrow, washing out a few things, looking at my feet, taking care of them. And so it's just a little inconvenient to eat, especially that late, with all the people there and all that. So hopefully maybe on this particular trek, the 21 kilometer trek, I may be able to find some place to get a little lunch. But that's even hard too, because sometimes you walk into the place and they say that there's no lunch, no food until whenever. By that time you're on your way walking again. So far I've had a good meal in, I can't even think of the place, but it was the Restaurant X. That was nice food. And I guess I arrived at the right time. The old man was kind of flirty, and he was very accommodating, though, to peregrinos. And the room that he let to me is decorated with a lot of Peregrino stuff and literature and all that. So I think he is a little more understanding of what the Peregrinos go through. But his staff was very nice to me. They were very accommodating and let me eat in the dining room with other people, because that day, I think it was Mother's Day, or maybe the day before, but people came in various forms of dress and had some nice food. And there was a big plate that was brought out for a table, and I asked the waiter what that was, because it looked interesting. It looked like a baby lamb or goat or something. And he went over and he asked, and he said it was a lechon. And I said, what's a lechon? And he was trying to explain it to me, but it seems like it's like a baby lamb that's taken from the mother while it's nursing. And they cook it. And I guess it must be one of the premier dishes. And I looked on the menu and it was like 45 euros just for that dish. But that place was like a little oasis. And this is the second time that I've been in a place like that, where the food was really good and people came for the food and of course the drinks. And so I'm just looking at these things and taking notes. I may have to make some of these things myself, some of the dishes. There was a dish, I can't remember the name of it, but I read about it when I was in Cordoba, and this restaurant had it. It's like gazpacho soup, but thicker, and I guess it's a traditional dish here. So I tried that with fried calamari, and that was very nice. I'm glad that I tried it. I did regret it just for a minute that I didn't get a chance to try it when I was in Cordoba. But this restaurant X, I mean, if you go any place, this is a very small town, but the restaurant was nice. That food was excellent. So I'm sitting here eating some grapes, drinking a little bit of water, and of course I'm in a place called Fuente de la Lancia, but there's no fountain that's running. So thankfully I have my water, and it's quickly warming up, so I'm going to take a few more swigs of the water while it's somewhat cool before it really heats up, because when you're out there climbing in the mountains, the water gets warm to hot, and you have no choice but to drink it because you do need to hydrate yourself. I just think of it as drinking soup. But if I find one of these cafes, I'm definitely going to drink another cold limonada. And they do serve ice, big cubes of ice, a couple in a glass. So I don't know how long that's going to last, because there's been talk about the drought and some fire dangers in the areas around. So hopefully I can make it to Santiago before I have to turn around in certain places because of fire. I think that happened last year to some people. But hopefully I haven't smelled anything in the air, but that doesn't mean that I won't have a problem or two. So I guess that's it. Just giving you an update. Look for my post announcing that I'm on the Camino, or getting ready to step onto the Camino. And my goal is Santiago de Compostela. I'm not there yet, but I noticed in this area that there are markers showing you how far you are from Santiago, like you want to know. Right now I'm 916 kilometers away, and I started in Almeria at about 1,450 kilometers away. So I've removed a big chunk, or a big piece of that particular length of walk. I didn't think that I would make it so quickly. You look up and there it is. It was 100 kilometers and 200, and now it's about between 400 or 500. Depends on how you calculate everything. So I feel a little tired. My feet are much better, and I'm trying to train them to harden, and putting less and less protective tape and gauze and all that on them, so they can harden and get used to the different surfaces. And I do find that I'm walking a little bit faster, so I'm glad about that. And I guess that's why I'm sitting here making this video, even though I have 20 kilometers to go. I probably have less now, because I have walked at least 4 or 5, I believe. So I'll get there. Seems like when I have about 20, 21, I get there in about 6 hours. And I probably will get there in 6 hours since I am walking a little bit faster. So that's it from Spain. And I'm still in Andalucia just for a minute. And I'm just trying to make my way to Merida. And then I'll be on the Via de la Plata, headed north to Santiago. So that's all for now.